Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to the very last episode of Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. It's been less than a week, so I don't have that much to catch up on. I'll talk about. Hmm? Oh God, I've got echo in the background from the
Oh,
stream.
that's me. Sorry.
No, that was me. But yeah. Oh, the one thing I've got that I should mention is that there's a game called Uplink that some people might know. It's a really old game. It's like 15, 16 years old, and it's like a really not like cheesy, but it's very Hollywood-esque hacking game. And there was a big new UI mod that just came out for it that makes the game look like it didn't come out in 2001, and it's actually pretty great. So I'll probably
Sounds
be playing
pretty
that
cool.
after Hardcore Heroes.
How do you find so many new games to play all the time?
It's not. I've had this game for like 8 years. I've had this game for a long time. But other than that, I played Chaos Reborn with Nick, and that was
That was
the
fun.
game is good. Yeah. I want to
We
get
need
like
more
a
people.
community. Yeah, I want to get like a community night together for that.
Ooh.
Just have like a bunch of people pick that game up because you can do like 2v2s and 3v3s and stuff like that. It'd be
Wizard
cool to get
chess.
some team games going. Yeah.
Cool.
And everything's done by like rolling dice. It's amazing. Everything is up to chance.
I think that would be something that we could probably organize after. Well, I was going to say after Hardcore Heroes is over, but there's not going to be a Hardcore Heroes anymore.
You can buy it for £6, I think, Neal. Or $10.
Yeah, it's $10 here in the
Wow.
States.
6 great British pounds. Real money.
Real money, right?
Mhm.
Not even worth a pound of silver anymore. Completely deflated, useless.
Probably
Or
nowhere
inflated.
near worth a pound of silver. Is that what it has originally meant, though?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
hmm But yeah. What about you, Nick?
Just been at work, I'm still buying the house, so that's kind of a thing that's going on. Been playing Chaos Reborn with Sean. It's a lot of fun. Playing Heroes of the Storm. I mean, pretty excited about, things in the future. It's all good, man. I don't know. Not much.
Life's good. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it's sunny in England for once, actually. That's actually pretty good news.
oh, that's
Summer
why it
has
looks so
begun.
weird on your camera.
Yeah,
The
that's why you
sun's
look like
out.
Gandalf. Yeah, looks like Gandalf confronting Frodo after he destroyed the One Ring.
It won't
that
last
really
long.
awkward scene.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, no, well, it won't last long. It's 6 o'clock now, so
Hmm.
I'll go down soon.
All right. So we should probably talk about why this is the very last episode before we jump into it. Do you guys care to enlighten people on why this is the final episode of Hardcore Heroes?
I mean, for me, like we've kind of just been here before, is what I was feeling like. Like Van and Malachi on the run after the third party member dies, looking to do something new. I don't know. Like I want to explore Van and Malachi further, but like further down the line, I want to give it a little bit of a break and let them establish themselves somewhere else.
Yeah. I
And just
think
kind of-
more, I mean, everything that we've been working for pretty much this whole time has been for Shirebrook or in and around the NPCs in Shirebrook. Especially towards the end, like Malachi was very interested in becoming the ruler of Shirebrook. And with all that kind of gone, and we then did have a reason to stick around to help Georg fight off the demons, but now that he's gone as well, the fight against the demons seems kind of lost. And I just don't see what there is keeping us around anymore. So, if there is a time for the characters to be shelved for a while, it seems like a good time to do it.
Yeah.
So why don't we hop into game and your characters can have this discussion together as you go about getting your things and figure out where you want to go. So I think where we last left off, you guys were either invisibly walking or kind of gliding away from the demons. And why don't we just say you reconvene somewhere near the middle of Misty
I
Rapids?
think we got back to the keep. Like we got
Yeah.
back to Misty Rapids and we went to the keep to get Jeeves.
We told people that what had happened because people freaked out when they heard that Georg was dead.
Right. Okay, that's right, because you said calm down and everyone's like, "Wah!" running around.
Yeah, everybody ran away, so we just went to the keep.
All right, so we will reconvene with you guys at the keep.
All
It
right.
is, well, late afternoon. There's a strong wind blowing through the area. You guys arrive at the keep. You're going to have to scale the walls, which isn't too difficult for a 9th level wizard and an 8th level cleric to do. And you find Jeeves and the widow of Lord Dicky Kugler hanging out in the front yard, admiring the large wall of iron, discussing what it means to have this much wealth on hand. When you two climb over the wall and come walking in.
Jeeves, I hear Akuba's very nice this time of year.
Akuba, my lord.
Akuba, extremely nice place. At least from what I've heard. Much nicer than this place is about to be.
Yeah, I think we need to gather our things and leave.
Will Lord Georg be joining us, my lord?
No. No, he won't.
Oh, a shame. Well...
And with Georg dead, this whole town is likely doomed, so... It's probably best we get a move on before the demons arrive.
Do we have time for a spot of tea, my lord?
I was actually going to ask, Malachi, do you fancy spending a night in the keep or traveling out now and spending the night on the road?
I think we should travel now because we were only, 20 minutes out of town?
A mile out of town.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're getting out of here then.
Let's go.
Yeah. We can make tea on the road, Jeeves, whenever we can for the night.
Can we?
Do you want...
I mean,
I don't
we
have a
take a
teapot
tea
with
kettle?
me.
I mean, surely there's one in the keep. Take it with you, man.
Excuse me,
But
my
be
lord.
quick about it.
Jeeves does not steal, sir.
No,
Van will like walk over and grab a tea kettle and just be like, "Here, it's mine now. Take it, Jeeves. Carry my tea kettle for me."
Right away, my lord. Shall I put it in Chester?
Sure.
I had agreed with Georg that if either of us were to die, that we'd inherit each other's wealth. So, on that note, Van, would you care to accompany me to the treasury?
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
Would you care to accompany me to the treasury?
Well, not much. It's not doing much good here. So
you're
yeah,
gonna
I guess
fall
I'll
into the hands
go down.
of whatever those things are. All right, so we'll go looking for the treasury while Jeeves gathers our supplies to leave.
Sure. You poke around for a while. All the doors are wizard locked.
We like kick him in as we go by, I guess.
Eventually, you find what appears to be a treasury door. It's reinforced with bands of brass and bronze to make it, near impossible to knock down. And it's locked.
I think one thing I'm looking for, like when I start digging through, is Georg, when he was talking to Van, sounded pretty nonchalant at mentioning having like this magical item or that magical item. So I think I'm looking to like see if I can find magical items and just get them away from the keep because I don't want the demons taking that stuff.
Sure.
A good argument. All right, I think there's a chance that I can open the wizard lock doors, isn't there? Or do I have to be 5 levels more and it's not a chance?
I think you have to be 4 or 5 levels more.
From when it was cast.
Right.
So I probably can't do it. All right, guess we kick it down then.
Well, it is a reinforced door. I don't know if either of you actually have the strength to knock it down. Sean, you have 17 strength?
16, I think.
All right.
17 is where you get +1 to hit, right?
Yeah.
So
you would
16.
need 18-99 strength to be able to open this door.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Let's try something else. Sean, Van, stand back. I'll walk to the end of the corridor. How far away can I be from the door? The plan's to fireball the door, so I don't want it to hit, come back and hit me in the face.
Right.
Space.
You can find a spot where you feel like you could safely fireball the door. It would possibly set fire to the tapestries and other things in this hallway.
I mean, there's some treasure's better than no treasure.
All right.
All right.
Do you have another fireball spell ready?
Yeah, I had 3 and I only used 1 because
Okay.
it turned out it wasn't much use.
All right.
All right, I'll do that then. Fireball the door.
Roll me some damage.
The keep is wood, right? I mean, it's stone.
Yes.
Okay, good. 34.
Ooh. All right. Your fireball blast strikes the door. How much HP does a door have? Probably not that much.
Yeah. Even a reinforced one is probably not too
Yeah.
not too
Pretty
hardy.
impressive door if it could have survived a fireball.
Yeah.
Well, it is the door to the treasury of a lord. I'm mostly concerned that there's enough iron that the door won't really be able to properly catch fire, but a fireball blast is quite a bit of force, especially when it's focused in a hallway like that. No,
I think
it's
so.
not. It can't disperse as well. I'm just gonna give the door a straight-up saving throw to see if it's holding or not. So where are structural saving throws? All right, I'll let you roll the save. Item hit points. Ah, here we go. Door. I would say this is a thick door. It has 30 to 50 hit points.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, we've got another fireball.
Yeah, you want to give it a second fireball for me?
Yeah, does it survive?
It does survive the first blast, yeah.
Can we? I mean, is it on fire though?
I will give it a saving throw to see if it's on fire. 10 wood thick versus fire is a pass, actually.
So if it's not on fire, I mean, I go over to it. Can I just like kick it down now?
Nope. It's got, between 30 and 50 hit points and 34 points of damage to it. So it's still standing and strong. The
All right.
reinforced iron bands are really holding it together. These
Wow.
doors aren't easy to knock down. That's the point.
I could do with keeping that other fireball, but
I mean, how much is it really doing against the demons? I guess it'd be good for the mosquitoes. Is there like
Yeah.
a big piece of wood that I could pick up and use as a battering ram?
I've still got some spells.
Like
it's all right.
a large piece of timber?
You can rip apart something somewhere in the keep to get something that you might be able to use as a
I
battering
mean,
ram.
he did like 34 damage, and I don't
use
want him
my
to burn
stuff.
2 fireballs. And I mostly
my
just want to
stuff.
like hit it with something heavy to like.
Okay.
I know I probably can't do it with like my bare hands, but I figure like with a battering ram in a little bit of time, we can probably
If
batter
I-
that door down.
If I
that would
extend my
just
stuff, right?
with a proper battering ram and enough people to work it, eventually the door will come down. It's just a matter of time. So it depends on how much time you guys feel like allocating to this project versus how much time you feel like you have before
Malachi,
demons
just
arrive.
fucking fireball this door again.
Yes. All right. Get back to safety.
There
Nice
you
five.
go.
All
The
right.
second fireball blows the door off the hinges, and out from within comes stalking a gnoll, clad in bronzed bones and no magic weapon in his hand anymore.
I'm
but
going
still.
to. Van pulls out his amulet and
Is
says,
he-
"Return to your rest," and casts Turn Undead.
Okay, well, we should still roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
Is it not killed by the fireballs?
No, he's protected by the fireball by the big ass door. He's on the other
All
side
right.
of the door. Yeah.
7.
Oh, we're doing.
We're doing initiative.
Mhm.
Yeah. Plus whatever you need for your weapons. And
I don't know what I need for a Turn Undead. It might just be +1
I
because it's just a turn.
It's
Let me check.
either short like that or it's a full round action. I don't remember
Yeah,
which.
I'm looking for it right now.
Chapter 9, combat.
Turning Undead.
I've got no stone skin in it. This thing could
Attempting
legit
to
kill me.
turn.
Requiring 1 round and occurring during the character's turn in the initiative order.
Cool. So I think that's
So-
like a 2 or a. Is that
So
a-
it occurs whenever my turn happens.
Let's see.
It does not get interrupted if I'm attacked during the attempt. To resolve the turning attempt, I think it's automatic.
I think this is like an innate spell ability, so we'll call it +3 initiative.
Okay.
So 10 for you, 7 for Nick. The skeleton comes stalking down the hallway in the direction of Van Helsing. It has
Sure.
no magical weapons because Georg took the one from it and handed it to you. You're holding the skeleton's
Yes.
weapon in your hand. And the skeleton batters at you with his solid bronze fist, which clangs harmlessly off of your plate mail.
All right, and I'm just gonna say return to your rest and cast
All right.
Turn Undead on it. And it should
You're
be
level
destroyed.
9. You think he instant dies?
8, but I'm pretty sure if it's 2 hit die or less, it's instantly destroyed.
Is that it for you? Only 2 hit die or less?
Let me check.
You're
It
like
might
a
be
level
higher.
9 cleric, right?
Level 8.
8, sorry.
Ghoul or 2 hit
Sorry.
die is so I can automatically destroy skeletons, zombies, and ghouls.
Okay, but you can automatically turn a whole bunch of other
Shadows, whites, gas. I can actually turn vampires at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
shit. Not automatically, but on a 16
No,
or higher.
on a 16, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, this is a 2 or... yeah, it's a 2 hit die skeleton.
So it's destroyed.
It is destroyed and crumbles to dust.
Awesome.
Good job. one I haven't seen before.
I guess it doesn't crumble to dust. Now there's just a bronze statue of a gnoll skeleton standing there, unmoving. The bones inside.
There's like little bits of there's little bits of ash that are seeping out through the bronze.
All right, it's just there. You guys can go in and sack the treasure room. It has cash only. I think all the magical items have been taken out. There might be like a magical shield or a +1 axe lying around, but I don't remember exactly.
Let me know about that shield.
Right, magical shield's important.
Yeah. We're just going to say you guys grab the loot and leave.
Okay,
since
sure.
it's the last episode, you won't be spending it, so we don't need to calculate it.
Yeah, if we need, we can grab like a cart as well from the keep that will be wheeling up the street. Like we can put Chester on it.
And you guys just like push this cart down the street as the town behind you is being overrun by demons?
Yeah, why not?
Does Jeeves want Fanny Kugler to come with us?
Oh, we can't rightly leave her here, my lord. What would she do? She's...
Fair enough, Jeeves, but she's your responsibility.
Make sure you water her and feed her every day.
Yes, my lord?
Yep. Okay. Alright, let's get on the road. We're going to Cauldron and then north.
Yep.
Okay. You guys head out on the road.
Yep.
As you're leaving, there's a huge stream of refugees and terrified people fleeing Misty Rapids, headed westward. And when you're a few hours out of town, you can see smoke rising from Misty Rapids itself. And maybe another hour later, you can see smoke rising from the area around the keep. The demons have made their way through and are, well, doing what demons do best.
Yeah. I mean, the gate was closed, right? So the keep was walled off?
Yes.
Okay, I'm kind of banking on that in case we ever need to go back there.
I mean, they could just charge it with that bull thing they've got, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. It's a 2-day journey to Cauldron. You guys don't have a carriage, so you're having to hoof it the whole way. But that's fine. There's a nice long line.
Unless there was a carriage in the keep that we could have taken.
No.
Oh, right. The horses were dead too.
Yeah. There's just a long line of people fleeing the destruction. You make it into Misty Rapids 2 days later. The place is overrun with newcomers, both from
Cauldron, do you mean? Sorry.
Yes, Cauldron. You make it to Cauldron 2 days later. The place is overrun with people from Misty Rapids and the surrounding villages who have heard the terror and fled. You also hear, while you're in Cauldron, that Tassel has been overrun and destroyed by demons as well, and that they appear to be headed this way along the West Road.
You know, I have to say, Malachi, you and Georg really caused some damage.
Well, we were only trying to help you, I guess, but I don't know about Georg, because you'd think being a master of time and dimensions and having used the portal before, he'd have remembered to shut it behind him if that's what we needed to do.
I guess even an experienced dimensionalist can forget to close the front door.
I don't know if maybe this is what he wanted.
I mean, I think that might be going a bit far.
Well, you didn't see that amulet around his neck.
Maybe not, but he did give his life fighting along our side.
Yeah, until his god restores him and he reigns over this chaos land. I don't know.
So you guys are having this conversation somewhere in Cauldron.
I was imagining like in an inn room or something private. I wouldn't say like you and Georg really fucked shit up in a public setting.
Right. But you've been pushing this wheelbarrow full of treasure around for a little while. Now, it's not just like heaps of gold on top of the thing, but it's still very clearly a wheelbarrow clanking and looks like it's very heavy. And then you're in plate mail, and he's a wizard.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to suggest that we probably don't stay in Cauldron for the night, that we camp out on the road.
But you've drawn some attention to yourselves with this wheelbarrow of cash. You know, occasionally someone will like take a quick look and look at what's inside, or a kid will run by and start burrowing through your stuff. And why don't we give people a general reaction roll to see how they feel about this site. Van, you have a modifier to people's reaction adjust, don't you?
Yes, +6. In the good direction, so
Correct.
I think it's a -6.
Okay.
God damn it.
Now you're just a forehead. There you go.
Yeah, I know. Trying to fix it.
People seem to be more or less ambivalent towards you, kind of
Okay.
giving you your room and some smiles,
Yeah,
and
held
maybe
at
a
bay
few,
by my blinding charisma.
and maybe more than a few people coming up to you begging for money or food or help. But there's so many of them. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way you could help any of these people. You would spend
Yeah.
years helping them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just get rid of all of them right now. Say the word.
All right, Neal. So Malachi casts web.
All right. Where are you going from Cauldron?
Well, let's ask in Cauldron. There's no harbour master, I suppose, but if there's like a merchant's guild or something like that, try and find out how you would travel to
Kill
Akuba.
the ram.
Well, yeah, maybe we go from
I
Cauldron.
thought yeah, because I mean we're pretty close to the river, so we probably want to head up north, right?
So, have Van and Malachi decided amongst themselves that they want to go to Akuba? Is that the?
I think
Sure.
so.
Well, it's being bandied about. Let's talk about it, right? So, what are the
Okay.
kingdom?
Well, see, I like Akuba right now, Malachi, as sort of a means of getting our feet back on the ground after this whole ordeal. I do fancy the idea of maybe going to Mistrea and killing a red dragon and becoming the new overlords of Mistrea.
It's a green dragon, I think.
Red.
Is it?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that sounds even
red.
worse.
Remember we found the somebody was telling us about there being a red dragon in Mistrea after we killed that chimera and took its scales.
Oh yeah.
I'd fancy slaying that beast and becoming the new overlords of Mistrea, but that would be, you know, a future goal. I'd rather go somewhere where we can get our feet planted first.
I've had my fair share of dragons recently, and I'd probably rather avoid them going forward if possible.
Hmm.
So we've got. I pull out my map, and I'll put it on the. So we've got Eridon, right?
Hmm.
Which is where we are. This is separated
Right.
by the big river. Then Mistrea, is that the bit in the middle?
Yep.
Little peninsula.
Yep.
And then Dracus is to the south.
Yep.
Yes.
So what's the deal with Dracus? That's where all the women are in charge, is that right?
No. Matava, down kind of connecting Eridon to everything else, is a matriarchal society.
Well,
or
I'm
as
a
you put it, that's where all the women are at.
That sounds like that would be the easiest one to take over.
Because it's the smallest kingdom by landmass and population?
Well, that as well, I suppose. So what's the deal with Dracus? Why wouldn't we go and live there?
Good question.
Well, I suppose we could. It's a bit close, don't you think? Why don't we just head to Dracus? It's probably closer to Mistrea, should we ever choose to go back there. If we want, we could easily sail over to Nome.
Well, do you know what language they speak in Dracus?
Common.
It's common? Okay.
Yeah.
It's common everywhere, right? Like, Akuba has its own language, but they still speak common.
You're not sure what they speak in Akuba. Everyone knows that they've got their own language, but it's unknown if they also all speak Common or if that's kind of a rarity out there.
Okay.
But Dracus is known to have Common as a primary language. They also have their older tongue, but that's usually reserved for like academic circles, like Old Eridonian would be.
Okay. I mean,
Also-
I suppose we could just go to Dracus. My biggest concern, Tassel's been overrun, so how do you want to get there? We'd either have to travel through Mistrea or sail a boat.
How big is the river? We could probably fly over the river.
So the canal, the Great Canals of Arcadia, are, let's see,
I mean, we could walk along the river, Malachi.
6 miles across or so,
Yeah,
and they are
we could
maybe the canal is maybe like 150 feet high or deep. So it's not really something you can cross unless you can fly over it. Otherwise, you'd need to go through a town to get down the giant cliffs and then go across the salt water and then back up.
So wait, this section of Mistrea, very far to the south, looks pretty much abandoned, right? Like there's Old Vodan and Honey Reach, but if you go like this whole south eastern section just looks pretty empty.
Yeah, it's the nice big open prairie lands.
So
loosely
we'd probably,
populated.
Okay, so we'd probably be able to like travel through there. No, like
Easily
I imagine
travel through. There will be some monsters, but you guys are 8th and 9th level.
Yeah, I was imagining like Crownhold is probably where the Red Dragon is, or something like that. Probably upward, like the population's much more dense.
The Red Dragon lives in Dragon Peak,
okay,
up on the mountains. Yeah.
So we could do
get
that.
to Kneecap, and from Kneecap get a ship to Dawngate, and then from Dawngate try and walk to Old Verdun.
How wide did you say this river was, Neal?
6 miles.
Yeah, it's more of a giant canal than an actual river.
I mean, we could fly over it. Getting over the river's not the problem. But
Canal,
if we're going to go trekking across the wilderness, we'd probably be best starting out from a city where we can buy supplies.
True. Kneecap might be a good call then.
Is Dawngate, is that the capital of Drakus?
No, the capital of Mistrea, that area right there, is Crownhold.
Yeah.
The borders between Mistrea and Drakus is the River Vodan. So it's kind of separated like that, with Old Vodan being the last bit of Mistrea, and Ralwick being the first bit of Drakus.
So Dawngate is pretty close. It makes you think Dawngate's too close.
Oh yes, and I wouldn't want to camp in Mistrea. I've heard it's not too great there ever since the dragon took over. We should probably just pass through it to Drakus.
Well, we could go to Kneecap, from there go to Dawngate, and then follow the Night River down through the valleys until we get to Honey Reach, and then from there make our way across East Vodan.
I don't know about this Drakus planet. How do you even pronounce these names? Wickthrow Rennenta? How is this even supposed to work?
At least they're in common. I mean, there's only 5 cities in Akuba. Where does Akuba start?
So Akuba's borders are the Red Desert, and the ocean. Pretty much it. So they've got this little section up in the north by the mountains that they border with the Elven Empire, and then
that's the elves up there.
Yeah, then they kind of just come around here like this, because all of this is just inhospitable wasteland of desert. And then they get, all this stuff.
Some of these islands look quite cool. Western Island, Black Beach, Redview, Ember Shore.
The Spice Islands are a lovely place. Wonderful weather.
Ember Shore looks pretty cool.
Well,
we could throw people in a volcano over there once we assert our dominance and take it over.
Yeah, just hope it doesn't erupt. Why don't we head to Kneecap then?
Sure, we'll start there. But one thing I want to check, Neal, I'm going to ask around town and ask about just kind of like what's up with Mistrea. Because I mentioned that like one time, like I'll probably tell some deeds if we're in an inn. I'll probably be like, this one time we slew a chimera, and I'll like tell this whole long story about the chimera. But then now I heard that because the chimera's scales were red, and I think I still actually have the chimera scales. So I'll probably like show off the chimera scales and say like, I was told that a red dragon of a similar color had taken over Mistrea. Are the borders closed?
Oh no, not closed at all. Well, maybe they're closing them now that the demons are running over everything, but I told you, those people from Misty Rapids, unclean swine, all bringing around the demons on us.
What can you do with people from Misty Rapids? I'm from Shirebrook myself. It's
even further east?
I know.
Shame on your soul.
Very strange place, but luckily nothing interesting ever happened in Shirebrook until it was destroyed by demons.
Well, good riddance. Now, if only we could bring one of them to justice, we could put him over the great cauldron and watch him boil.
Oh, I heard the Lord of Misty Rapids is dead.
You don't say.
Yes, I heard he was killed by one of those demons in battle, trying to defend his own territory.
Upstart little brat. Yeah, you ever hear the time that the Wraith of the Tetherwilds visited Cauldron? Scaled the castle, murdered everybody inside of it, took the poor girl, scared her out of her mind. Now she's just a babbling idiot, going on and on about her daddy and this strange, noble from Misty Rapids. Well, scared the girl half to death, scared her sanity away, murdered everybody in the keep.
Sounds like quite the villain. Perhaps it's a good thing he met his end.
Well, ask
So
me,
you
it's
know.
about time for the end of the world.
Well, if you want to die, then I'd stay right where you are. But if you've got other plans, might be best to get out of town.
Well, you can't escape certain death. You're just going to be prolonging your terror.
All
Come,
right. Well,
I got a nice spot on my front porch. We can watch the demons come in and burn down the town before they get us.
you. Thanks for the offer, but I think my friends and I will be heading on.
Are
I
you
quite like the
certain?
whole struggling through an endless tear bit. It's quite refreshing, to be honest. Never a
Well,
dull
that's
moment.
what you Easterners would say. You and your heretic ways. You must embrace the true desire of the gods, and that is to see us all suffer for our sins.
That is true, but as one of the speakers for the gods, and I sort of show off my holy medallion.
He like rubs
I don't-
his eyes and squints, gets
I
close.
say, I'm not sure they would agree with all of their servants dying off at once.
Well, pretty mouth thing like you, worshipping such a ridiculous god like that, is ought to have weird notions of what is right and wrong. But that's what you get for being a no-good city boy who's never had to work a day in his life. Look at you. Pretty hand. I bet you come from money, too. Well.
Why don't you quit while you're ahead, mate?
Oh, what are you gonna do? Kill me? The end of the world's already on us, son! Now, if you really want to try and run away, I guess you could go to Matava. There certainly is a red dragon there. Red as those scales might be.
Hey, so what's going on with Stromheim? Did they reopen the gates yet?
That's what I
Oh,
heard.
yeah, totally. Oh, they might have closed them again already, but they were open for a good month or two.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Did they find out who killed who tried to kill the queen?
Kill the queen? No one tried to kill the queen. They burned down the temple.
So the burning down of the temple was why they shut it down.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Oh, I heard it was an assassination attempt on the queen. I did
What?
hear about the temple burning down.
Now, that is ridiculous. Who would kill the great queen of Stromheim? Just because she's a little
I don't
young
know.
and doesn't really know too much doesn't mean that she ought to, well, maybe...
I mean, there are quite a few villains in this world. You know,
Indeed.
it's a shame about the temple, but have you ever visited it? It was a wretched place corrupt with bureaucracy. Perhaps it's for the best that the temple gets a chance to start anew.
Well, that is the first sensible thing you've said since you stepped foot in my little village.
Well, we'll be going then. Thanks for the advice.
Yes, thank you for the information. It's greatly appreciated. And I'll kind of like flip him a gold coin and say, drink yourself silly before the end of the world.
No, sir. Alcohol's the work of demons, he says, and tosses the coin out kind of into the wilderness. Get that water
All
polluting
right.
your mind, you're not going to be sensible enough to feel the death coming.
I pass him another gold coin and say, try some green tea. I've heard it works wonders.
He'll hold on to it.
Right,
Alright.
Jeeves, Fanny, Van, let's go. Head on up the North Road, out of Cauldron. I'll warn the guards before.
By the way, Malachi, how much wealth have you stored in Chester?
Oh, I sent it to you last week, but it's quite a lot.
Okay, so okay, that's good because I checked my character sheet and I have 13 gold left.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, I do have 290 more in Chester. I'm okay.
There was 999 silver, 249 iron, 910 gold, 199 platinum, and then an additional 7,848 gold. That was Shirebrook.
So, poor fucking Jeeves.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, but that's fine because we got the wheelbarrow, so it's I'm probably helping with that actually because I'm probably the strongest in the group.
Yeah. So you guys continue to head up the North Road towards
Yep.
Stromheim.
I think we're heading toward Kneecap is the goal here.
We're gonna
So it's probably
turn
up the
off-
road towards Stromheim, and then I think can you see the lake? I guess I'd asked that before we left Cauldron. Can you see the lake from the road?
No, the lake is like 13 miles.
Can you see the tree line?
No.
Damn. Okay, so I think what we'll do then is just kind of head out in northwest
Mhm.
until we hit that tree line, then head up to the end of the tree line and take a left there
Sure.
and take a straight
Yeah.
west shot to Kneecap.
Yeah.
Like there's
Okay.
pretty good landmarks there. I feel like we can get to Kneecap without too
This
much
is
trouble.
fairly well settled area. There's a lot of villages around.
Okay.
There'll be
Okay.
small trails. It's not going to be difficult to get to Kneecap.
Okay.
There will be lots of things around, and since there are so very many refugees on the road, all the giant spiders are fed.
Nice.
So No monster attacks. All the plebs around you are absorbing those things.
I'm glad somebody else has had a run-in with spiders.
Mhm.
God damn.
So it takes a few days along the North Road until you reach the flatlands and head west, moving from village to village, stopping every now and then to rest because the lands are kind of difficult to traverse. There are some paths here and there, but a lot of time you're just kind of trekking out over open country, and you've got your wheelbarrow, which is a little bit difficult. So it takes you a lot longer than it normally takes to get somewhere. You know, you don't have your carriage or your horses. You're going the old style. So
Actually,
it takes you
speaking
4 or
of,
5
since
days.
I can refresh spells, solipsism is totally legit for that purpose, right? Like I could solipsism a carriage and 2 horses because we've done it before.
I think so.
Yeah, I guess I'll solipsism a carriage and 2 horses.
Okay.
People
Jeeves
were
gets back
discussing
on
whether
the
or not the
carriage.
AOE. Yeah, people were discussing whether or not the AOE is like a limit to how far it can travel, but I think it's just a limit to its size because it was supposed to be like you can make giant bridges with it. So the limit in size was more like you can only cross a chasm of like 800 feet in length at my level because you can only make a bridge that large. But I'm pretty sure you're able to like move it. There's nothing that says it has to stay in the area of effect. I just think that's like a size limit for the illusion.
Right. I agree.
I agree.
And I have tried not to use it for anything super broken, like making a jet plane. So
I have to roll saves to believe it.
You can keep making the saves until you believe it, right?
Okay.
yeah, you check
Single
every
attempt to
round
believe each round, yeah. And it lasts for...
until I go to sleep or I'm struck in combat. I can do other things. I just can't cast other spells.
Yeah. So eventually you guys pass your saves, or fail your saves, or whatever you need to do. And everyone piles in the phantom carriage. Jeeves gets back into his regular old place. Fanny Kugler joins them up on the front of the carriage, leaving the 2 of you in the main compartment. And you take a trek across the flatlands to Kneecap.
So now we're just 2 floating people in an invisible carriage.
Yep.
4 floating people.
Just like the good old days.
Yep.
It's an uneventful journey across the flatlands. You stop at a few villages for rest and shelter, maybe. Eventually arriving at Kneecap. The walls to Kneecap are closed. There are armed guards numbering 15 over the gate. They look at you as you arrive in your visible carriage and try and make their saving throws. There's a combination of successes and fails, and the guards immediately set to arguing with each other over what the hell is approaching them. When eventually one of them decides that, oh my god, it's demon magic, and fires a warning
going to say
shot.
that I'm going to stop like a good distance from the walls and like jump out of the carriage myself and like walk up on foot.
So you walk up, and there's clearly some confusion on the walls, and someone shouts down with a cone of paper to amplify his voice. Are you demons?
No, it's holy magic. Sorry about that. I understand it's very concerning when you first see it. If you keep trying, you should eventually see the carriage. Think of it like an optical illusion.
The fuck's an optical illusion? I don't know. Never heard of that thing. That's a strange thing. I don't know.
Anyways, I was wondering.
A good cleric.
I serve cheese.
Heal somebody.
And okay. Is anybody injured?
No.
Can I just stab myself and heal myself?
There's some murmuring, and eventually the gate opens a little bit, and one shaky, nervous guard comes out, and he's sweating bullets. He comes walking out with his spear in both hands, kind of shaking.
I'm like, are you injured?
He kind of pokes his hand on the end of the spear lightly, producing the smallest of cuts that's barely dripping any blood.
All right, I'll burn a cure light wounds to take care of it. I don't have Orison.
He's got his spear in his hand, ready to stab you should you provoke any demon magic on him. But you heal his hand. He exhales a deep breath of relief, calls up to the guards that it's okay, he's a real cleric, and they open the gates and let you guys in.
All right.
Good job, Vaughn.
Yep. People tend to be scared of what they don't understand. I don't blame them.
Fair. Yes. Given everything that's happening recently.
Okay. So you get into Kneecap. You learn that no demons have arrived here yet, but word of it has spread all over the place, and they are preparing their defenses. They recognize the two of you for powerful casters that you are, and more or less leave you alone and don't ask you what's in your wheelbarrow. Maybe they've seen enough looting already.
I do give. I mentioned that we've had some run-ins with them on the road, and I give them some caution. I'll tell them about the bull that spews breath that can turn people to stone, and I'll describe it. Yes, I'll be like, take that out from range. If you see it charging at you, make sure you have your archers gun it down before it gets close to anybody. And I just try to give good strategic advice for these people.
Eventually, you find yourself near the dock district of Kneecap. There's this kind of upper area at the top of the cliff where people have gathered and exchanged information about ships and passageways and fares and moving goods around. And then there's this long switched back staircase that goes down 130 feet to the canal below, where you can actually see a pier built into the side of the cliff and little boats floating on it. You can also see all the way across to Dawngate on the other side. You can't actually see the city itself, but you can see the giant cliff on the other side. That would be Dawngate. And there's a little port down there that you can see just barely off in the distance. You can make out the colorful flags and sails.
Is it relatively easy to book passage?
Super easy. They have, shuttles that go back and forth all the time.
Then I think we should just go, should we?
Yeah, and so we're looking to go to, what was it again? Dawngate is what it's called?
Yeah.
Dawngate, you learn that Dawngate is open to visitors and travelers, that anyone escaping Eridon heading to Dawngate is being charged an exorbitant entry fee into the kingdom of 10 gold per person.
Oh, that is practically murder, but I suppose we'll have to make do.
I think it's fair, yes. Fanny, have you got any wealth on you?
My husband kept our books.
I think I should be able to swing it to cover for you. Don't worry about it.
You say hauling Misty Rapids treasury with you.
We're trying to downplay it, Neal.
Okay.
It's all copper.
You easily pay the fees and the immigration fees and make it into Dawngate.
All right.
Okay.
Dawngate is 30% halflings. They're fucking everywhere.
I think I speak halfling. I do speak halfling.
You haven't practiced it once in a year and a half, but damn it, you speak it.
It's like we mentioned it that Van has it's not like he's not super fluent, but he does speak halfling well enough to hold a conversation.
Sure.
So I'm going to try and visit a cartographer. I want to try and get a map of the wilderness between here and Honeyreach.
Dawngate is a bustling city. It is one of the, I want to say, 7 largest population centers in the kingdom. Sure enough, you can find a cartographer who will sell you a map of. You want just a map of the area between Dawngate and Honeyreach?
Yes, so a way so I can plot out a course.
Yeah. There is a map of the Laconish Highlands out here that you can buy for 10 gold pieces. Fairly detailed.
Take it off the chest, Sean.
Okay. I'm just gonna subtract it from what I have on my sheet, and then I'll add all the other wealth later. I've got 290 gold, so I'll just drop that. I mean,
we're kind of, unless you guys run out of money today, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to make sure that we have a few thousand left over to start our kingdom.
Right. Oh, we're gonna. I mean, we must have got another 7,000 or so from Misty Rapids, so we should have about 14,000 gold plus all the treasure. So I think we'll be alright.
Yeah, you're fairly wealthy.
All right.
And while you're looking and explaining to the cartographer what you're doing, he recommends that you get one of the guides that lives in the south side of Dawngate, outside of the towns near the Night River. That will help guide you through the waterways and then through the highlands to Honeyreach.
Is it dangerous?
Oh, certainly dangerous. Especially for someone of your stature.
What kind of monsters are we talking about?
Ogres, trolls, goblins, all sorts of critters.
Don't. I remember those days. Don't you, Malachi?
Ogres and goblins, yeah. Trolls can still be an issue.
I suppose. I mean, honestly, ogres could be if we gave them a chance to fight back.
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly confident. But a guide will show you the quickest route, safest route,
Sure.
as best as possible.
Yeah, could you give us some directions to one?
Yeah, there's like a guides guild a few blocks over. He gives you directions and
A guides guild. What a great... Like, those organizations need to exist. Like, they're never in role-playing games. Why aren't they?
there should be.
Yeah.
What guilds or?
Yeah, like a guide or a guild of guides. People
Oh, right,
like whose sole purpose in life is to just show people where to go.
Yeah. And it's a quick hop, skip, and a jump to find the guide and set it across the river.
All right, so we gather supplies and stuff for the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And why don't we take our break here?
Okay.
And yeah, why don't we take a break here? When we come back, we'll see what's happening on the other side. Bye.